All right, we've been looking at radicals quite a bit, and it's time to put together a problem that's just a little bit more complicated, so that you not only do you have to deal with a radical, but you have to also deal with your normal order of operations. And as you move on in algebra, in all of mathematics, but especially algebra, problems like this start to show up where there's lots of stuff going on, and you have to decide what to do first, what to do second, what to do third, and you have to do it accurately. Okay, and remember what those things mean. So let's take a look at this problem right here. You're going to get one on a quiz that's similar to this, and this happens to be an expression we call the discriminant. It's going to be part of a formula we use later on. Right now we're just going to get used to the mechanical aspect of it, how to deal with numbers that we put in. So what I see right here is an expression, okay? And that expression has a few variables in it. And we have the value of those variables right here. So it's my job to substitute them in the right place and accurately represent what's there. So let's write the numbers instead of the variables, and let's be real careful about what these numbers are and what happens to them once we get them in there. So what I mean by that, I want to write a big square root sign like this, and then I'm going to take b, okay, because I can see b right here, and b gets squared. So I'm going to write this, squared. And what I put there is this value for b. Notice I'm putting the entire -7 inside those parentheses. That whole thing gets multiplied by itself. Now I have a minus, and that minus sign is always there, by the way. And then it says I've got, let's see, 4 times, and I'm going to have to extend my, this happens all the time, I have to extend my radical out there because I got to fit some more stuff under it. Okay, so I have -4 times, and now I'm going to look here, the first one that comes is a, so -2, and the last one that comes is 4. Now, when I look at all this, it's easy to start kind of moving too fast and forgetting about my order of operations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it one piece at a time. Let's look back at this part right here. Okay, -7 squared. Now, don't type that into your calculator. You don't need to. You type it into your calculator and you forget parentheses, and all of a sudden it's going to tell you something you shouldn't, you wouldn't expect it to, and you may not catch it. This is 49. It's positive 49 because I'm multiplying a negative times itself. Now, how about this part over here? All those are multiplied together. Now I have to do multiplication before I can do addition and subtraction. So I have 4 times -2 times 4. So that gives me -8 times 4, which is -32. Now what else am I missing here? Well, I still have that. Okay. And I still have the radical, so I haven't taken care of that stuff yet. Now what I have to do at this point is I got to recognize that if I'm subtracting a negative, I'm really adding. Okay, so I'm going to do that part first. Let's take a look at how this would look. Oops, choose a different color here. I'll put it right over here. Square root, I have 49 plus 32. Okay. And that's going to be the square root of, now if we take 49 plus 32, we're going to be at 51, 81. Okay. And the square root of 81 happens to be 9. So that one happened to work out to be a nice whole number. It doesn't always work that way. But notice the progression here. I start by plugging in number for b in parentheses, and then I square it. And that gets me to this right here. Then I plug in numbers for a and c, and I multiply all this junk together, and that gets me to right here. And then I take care of these little signs, this negative, and the negative that ended up on my number. Those end up becoming a positive over here, and so I end up adding those numbers together. Okay? And I end up with a nice whole perfect number, but that's not the way it always is. If this was the square root of 83, well then it wouldn't be a number that I know, and so I would just leave it alone. Okay? Or I could type it in my calculator and get a decimal. So that's how we approach a problem that has a lot more stuff involved. The square root just adds another dimension, but what we got to remember is it's kind of like a grouping symbol. It's kind of like parentheses. We'll do everything on the inside first, and then we'll evaluate the square root.